Hey everyone, welcome to another game on migration between the Viper and Tim. We have Viper again as the Vikings in the yellow, and Tim over here playing with his Panda TV name in the blue, also as the Vikings. And we'll take a look at their maps. So Tim, as is normally the case on migration, your sheep are very far from your town center. He's about to find his starting sheep, and he has a patch only of 3 deer, pretty far away. Those are 2 sheep down here on the other part of his island. And he's going to start out by taking his berries because he hasn't been able to find his sheep. The Viper, he has a very close deer patch, so he's been able to push them in right away. He'll be off to a slightly better start because of that. And his 2 sheep are down here, and his main sheep over here hidden on. And ooh, that is not a very good gold pile. That is blocked off by a lot of trees. Probably his only chance is to maybe cut through the trees to get to that. Otherwise, the only mining camp would be over here and have the villagers walk a really long way. That is quite unfortunate for him, so we'll see how he tries to play with this map. That's a very unfortunate gold pile. Of course, on migration, your island only has 1 pile of gold. Tim's gold isn't the greatest either because it's right next to the coast. It's better to have your gold like in the middle of the island, say here, because then it's not going to be able to be harassed by your enemy's galleys. So we'll see what he does to protect that. He'll probably try to dock near it to get some control of that area of the map, and maybe we'll even see him power it up later. But the Viper is still going to be pushing in his deer. Hasn't yet found any of his sheep. Just going to concentrate on those deer. Looks like he did have 4 deer, so that'll be good for him. He was lucky to get that extra deer. But yeah, this gold shouldn't be able to be harassed too much, but not in a really good position. And one other thing to note, the Viper, you can't get around the back of his island because there's a little bridge of land there. Whereas Tim, you can sail completely around his island, and he has some really nice fish in the back of his island. And so does Viper as well. Not quite as good as Tim's, but he does have quite a few deep sea fish back here. And finally, the Viper finding now his sheep. And looks like he's going to be docking down here, building a house while he waits to get the wood he needs for a dock. And then he's going to be putting down a dock immediately after that. And we'll see. Neither player has loom yet. Tim going to chop the straggler. And if the villager has, we'll see. He hasn't sent a villager to do any docking yet. And looks like that villager is going to do that right now, getting up a house. So Viper will have his dock up first. And there are quite a few fish back here, not immediately in front of the dock, but a bit off to the side. And over here, not too much, but then some more fish up here. So maybe the dock would have been a bit better if he had placed it down here to be closer to those fish, but at least this one will also kind of give him access to these fish over here. Of course, you can't really scout that from the shore. It's partly luck if you have fish close to your dock or not. And we'll see the Viper being careful, sending all of his vills to that 1 sheep, only killing 1 sheep at a time so that animals don't decay. And now building another house, and we'll see, not going for a quick mill, so probably not going for the fast feudal. And now is a fishing ship coming out, and he'll scout out and he'll find where those fish are located. And Tim now just getting up his dock, so he's going to be behind in fishing ships because the Viper's got up his fishing ship, got up his dock and has the fishing ship out just as Tim is already finishing his dock. And a couple fish in this area, and this dock will help to produce galleys to protect that gold. Not that many deep sea fish next to this dock though. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he has to sail a long way out here into the open waters to get to those fish, or come around. Lots of shore fish, not too many deep sea fish between the island and the mainland for Tim. His fish are going to be mostly in the back of his island in this nice corner of the map here. And the Viper now up to 3 fishing ships, whereas Tim's only on 1, and he's sending more villagers over to his lumber camp. This villager is stuck. There we go, now he's chopping a tree again. And Tim just now pushing in his, let's see, yep, he still has 1 deer left. Ooh, and it's going to run away. And a bit outside the town center. Not the best location, but sometimes those deer can be finicky. And we see the Viper already. He's already taking all of his deer, and he's on his sheep. And now it looks like he's going to be adding in a second lumber camp up there. And we're going to have to see how he decides to take this gold, because it's going to take a bit of creativity. And looks like the gold pile on the mainland is a gold pile down here at the bottom, and another one really close to Tim. So the Viper doesn't really have many options for gold, even if he does decide to go onto the mainland. Maybe we'll see him do something creative with the market to try to bring in more gold. But it does have an advantage in fishing ships. Is up to 6 compared to Tim's 4. And does have his second dock up, 7 fishing ships out even, and is going to be fishing back here. That one's pretty close to some fish. That's a nice dock placement for the Viper. And Tim looks like he's putting up his second dock now in the back. Of course, this villager will take from that shorefish. Villagers do gather very quickly from shorefish, and that deer not quite underneath the town center, but at least close to those villagers. And Tim, who right now getting housed slightly, he's going to build a house with those 4 deer hunters just to get it up quickly. That 4 villagers will build a building in half the time it takes 1 villager to build it. So houses normally take 25 seconds, so that cuts it down to 12.5 seconds. And he's going to be long distance foraging from these forage bushes and chopping down that tree. We'll see if he puts a mill here or not. Is starting to take this back fish though, and these fish are going to be a lot nicer than his front fish, although probably would have been nicer to have the dock over in this location to have access to more of the fish over here. The fishing ships are going to have to travel a long distance to get between these fish over here and that dock, so we'll see if he decides to add in another dock later. And the Viper, meanwhile, still fishing over here. This is a really nice dock with those, some really close fish to it. And a third dock coming up for the Viper at the top of his map. Unfortunately, the docks aren't going to be right next to each other. They are pretty close, but you do want to keep the docks kind of close to each other to help them produce ships at the same time, and just helps you so that if you're sending galleys from one dock towards another dock, then if your enemy has a few ships in the area, they might pick off the straggler ship every so often. And really has lots of fishing ships down here. And we'll check. And yep, there he is. He's sending a fishing ship around. Looks like I thought I saw that. Looks like he's going to be doing some scouting. We'll see. Tim hasn't been doing that. So Viper's going to send his fishing ship to scout around the map as he is the first up to feudal, and now it's his turn to be housed. And putting a mining camp next to the gold and sending the villagers. Can maybe fit 2 on each gold pile. That's going to be really tough to fit. That's a lot of villagers he's sending there, and I don't know if they're all going to fit. Already that villager is standing idle, not really mining as well as they could be. And this scout needs to be moved so it doesn't block the villager from chopping wood. But still, he is up to feudal much faster than Tim, but Tim did go up with 2 more villagers, but 2 less fishing ships. So the same population, but Viper is up faster. And we'll check what the Viper's scouting looks like. He is now scouting around past the mainland. He's found Tim's Island, and he sees all of the fish in the back of Tim's Island. And he's going to find Tim's dock right there. Tim will see this fishing ship now, and he'll know the Viper has scouted him. And while Tim, everything on everything on wood and gold, no villagers on the berries. Is this fishing ship going to come up by the docks, be a bit annoying, mess up the pathing of these fishing ships, slow them down a tiny bit? But the Viper is now up to the feudal age, throwing down his blacksmith, and doesn't quite have the wood for a market straight away, unless he's thrown it down somewhere already, but doesn't look like he has. Nope, so we'll see if he spends a bit of time in the feudal age. That villager is standing idle up there. He'll do something. Oh well, but then, nope. So he scouted the next of Tim's docks. So Tim has 3 docks. Put another one down here to help collect these fish better. And adding a 4th here. So he's scouted 3 of Tim's docks. Hasn't seen this 4th one. But it's good that he'll know where these docks are, so he'll know where Tim is going to be creating his fish. And he's getting out a galley, looking to do some raiding, right? And just now putting down the market. And Yep, these villagers, once these villagers chop through these trees, that gold will be much more accessible, and that'll be a lot easier to saturate with villagers over in this location once these trees get out of the way. And Viper doing loom, just so his town center isn't idle as he throws up the market in the blacksmith, and we'll be right away. 2 more food and up to the castle age. And creating now galleys from his docks, and he will be looking to upgrade war galley right when he gets to the next stage. Tim now doing fletching on his galleys. And let's see, has Tim put up a market yet? Yep, Tim has a market, adding in a 5th dock now. And fletching double bit axe as he is also up to the castle age. And we'll see how the Viper's doing. This tree almost gone, 23 wood left on it. Maybe wants to task a 3rd villager to that tree. And now here we go, we have an engagement at the top. Viper 2 galleys, come back to get a 3rd galley against Tim's 1, going to engage 3-on-1. And going to move closer and get a very nice engagement here. Going to do a lot of damage to that galley. Maybe even sink it. No, looks like it's going to get away. Tim probably does want to bring up a villager to repair that galley. You don't want to lose them. And it will just get away. And Tim is going to be throwing up a watchtower on his gold. And Viper does get the kill there. Tim wasn't able to run away in time. He's going to have to run away with this galley as well. But that tower will help to secure this gold. Will stop Viper from taking fights here underneath that dock. And we'll have to keep his fishing ships safe. And unfortunately, this dock only able to produce 1 galley. And that will get some very easy damage from these 3 galleys of the Viper not being grouped up. That tower will get a couple of shots at the galleys as they try to retreat. And retreating underneath the tower and underneath 3 galleys, a 4th galley coming in at the top. And lots of damage on those galleys for Tim. So Viper did manage to sink 1 galley and do some damage to the fishing ships, but only 1 of these galleys damaged for Tim, where all 3 of these are damaged for the Viper. But now the Viper is up to the castle age. We see war galley and bodkin arrow coming in right away. Tim will be up to the castle age right behind him, and we'll see which dock Viper's added in. Another dock up here. There were a few fish down here, but still not too many. Maybe we'll let him take that fish there. And now throwing down a university, we will see him go for ballistics as he's doing the bow saw, the castle age woodcutting upgrade. And Tim, similar, he's housed again. That's not good because it does slow down your galley production. And war galley research being done. And galleys queued up in all of the docks. University coming up for Tim, but he is a bit slower than the Viper. Viper will have ballistics first. He will need to. Tim will need to stall a bit before he can take before he can take a fight. He'll need to try to hold position before he can engage. War galley upgrade coming in for him. You see the players are both even on villager count, but Viper is ahead by 3 fishing ships and by a couple of war galleys. And ballistics now being done for the Viper. After he gets that, he'll probably look to engage. All of his ships right now are concentrated on this side of the map, as he has gotten out a transport ship and is moving over to the mainland to put up a dock. That dock will be, of course, closer to Tim and allow Viper to send his reinforcements into the fight faster, allow him to keep his ships more closely grouped up, as he is also grouping up some ships over here. Tim has a group of ships on both sides of his island as well. So we'll see Viper now looking to push out at the top. It's hard to tell. Looks like Tim might have a few more ships over here as he's just now finishing ballistics. But Viper putting down another dock, and it looks like he's going to be concentrating most of his pressure on this top side of the map. We'll see how that works out, because remember, the golds are, of course, on the bottom of the map. But Tim's still patrolling over here as they're going to engage at the top. And it does look like Tim might have a few more ships. And Tim is now doing careening. Viper hasn't done that yet, and Viper's going to have to get back. And Tim will have the upgrade advantage. We'll see if he can press that. But 3 docks now from the Viper. 2 docks now, and a 3rd coming up on the other side of the relic. That is going to make it difficult for Tim to push into this area, since Viper's ships will be coming out right here and be immediately in the fight, whereas Tim's army will be out of position while he waits for his reinforcements to arrive. And on the bottom of the map now, the Viper is pressuring. Tim has a lot of fishing ships here. He doesn't have all of his war galleys here. They're mostly concentrated on the top of the map, as Tim is now trying to push in against the Viper's docks. Viper's trying to come in and take an engagement, and this is like a really good fight for the Viper, as that transport ship going to go down for Tim. And now those fishing ships being targeted by the Viper as he's up here. His fishing ships probably should retreat them for now just to keep them alive, but it looks like Viper's going to win that fight as well, since he has all these docks right here to reinforce immediately, and Tim's ships are busy sailing across the island. Viper will be forced back from here since Tim does have his docks there, but only one dock in the immediate vicinity. These two docks pretty far away, and Tim being forced back up here as Viper's still pumping out ships from those three docks on the mainland, and Tim hasn't really been able to get onto the mainland yet. He does have this gold pile really close to him, which will be good, but Viper now just holding at the bottom of the map, not patrolling his boats, just leaving them sit there, but moving in at the top, forcing Tim back towards his dock, towards his gold pile. And Tim is going to be adding in yet another dock as he's pulling back, and he needs that dock to be able to reinforce this side of his island now that he's forced to be on the defensive. And we'll see, he's pushing out at the bottom, has more ships than the Viper. These ships not patrolling. Tim could get a very good first engagement here, and the Viper's going to notice and immediately retreat at the bottom of the map. Going back, and Tim not being able to do much damage, and as he retreats towards his docks, then the advantage will start to shift in his favor. And the Viper right now up to the Imperial Age. Tim looking to click up soon, has the food, just needs about 255 more gold, and should be up pretty soon as well. But the Viper definitely in front. We've seen him slightly in front throughout the game, getting to feudal first, getting to castle first, and getting that university and the ballistics first. And still similar villager counts for both players. Tim has taken 2 villager count leads since the Viper has been spending time advancing to the next age, but now this forest has been mostly chopped. This gold is now much more accessible for the Viper. Things are looking very good for him as he's pulled back his fishing ships. And these fishing ships will die, but at this point a lot of the fish have been taken, and Viper's going to mass galleys, to mass the war galleys in the middle of his map, and if he comes down here could catch Tim really far out of position. And those war galleys, will they be able to pressure that gold? No, it looks like they won't, and the Viper is now going to come down here and trap Tim. And where is Tim going to go with his guys? Is he going to try to escape? Will Viper be in time? Looks like he'll just make it, and Tim, he's going to engage here, and yes, he is trying to take a fight and retreat, but not going to get out in time, as the Viper has the ships here, he has the docks here, and Tim will be pushed back and will lose his forces down here. And he now has to retreat. Ships might have done more damage had they come in just a few seconds earlier, but Tim will manage to escape with still 7 ships. They are pretty badly damaged, and now Tim is going for a big push at the top of the map. He has all of his boats there, but Viper has a lot of war galleys here. He has his docks right here, and we'll see, will Tim be able to do much damage? Right now, Viper ships in a much better formation. Tim's are all in a line formation, whereas Viper's ships are more stacked on top of each other, and Tim not patrolling. That's a very bad engagement for him, and Viper is going to win that, especially with his docks right there. And Tim not patrolling his ships, didn't have them grouped up together. Viper was able to pick some of them off before they even started fighting. And Viper going to take this fight. Now he'll have control of the water on both sides of the island, as his ships are now pursuing Tim's ships at the bottom. And Tim up to the Imperial Age, but Viper already up doing the galleon upgrade. And winning this engagement at the top, starting to pull ahead in the military numbers, forcing Tim back again. And he's going to be patrolling his ships in. Galleon upgrade now done. And ships going down for Tim. Only 4 ships remaining from that engagement on the top. Tim now starting to move out onto the center island, but Viper is there already, putting down a town center. Has a monastery up, so hasn't made a monk yet, but he will be able to take that relic. And Tim as well does have a monastery, but doesn't look like there's any relics nearby for him to take. And we'll check both players' scoutings. Tim hasn't been seen by the Viper on the mainland, and Tim, since his boats were there, does know that Viper is there already. Tim is putting up a town center as our ships are engaging again out here. This is a bit closer to Tim, but Viper looks like he does have the numbers and, more importantly, the upgrade advantage. Tim trying to take a fight against the galleon with his war galleys, but he doesn't have the numbers he needs, and he's going to be pushed back, and he's calling the GG, single capital G from both players. And that's it. Some very nice engagements by the Viper there. Managing to work around the very unfortunate gold placement, still had just enough access to it that he was able to mine the gold he needed in the feudal age until that forest was chopped out. So let's go take a look at the achievements. We'll see 69 units killed compared to only 43 for Tim. Economy stats, the Viper had a much better economy, pretty similar on gold, but otherwise the Viper had a much stronger economy and was getting ready to throw up a castle as well. Technology stats, the Viper just ahead all game, and pretty similar villager counts. So some very nice efficiency from the Viper, and some very good engagements from him as well, catching Tim's ships out of position. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.